The civil rights picture of those years was one of violence, of segregationists lashing out in resentment at the school
pledge
desegregation
allegiance
decision.
to the flag
The names in the news were
of the
names like
United
Little Rock
States
and
of
Clinton,
America,
Tennessee. Somewhere outside the
and
picture
to
was
the
Dr.
republic
King,
for which it
speaking,
stands,
traveling, but seldom making
one
news as a leader.
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The battle in Albany raged throughout the spring and summer of 1962. The aim was desegregation of all public facilities, the method nonviolent protest. Unexpectedly, Albany police countered with
pledge
perfect order
allegiance
and
to the
nonviolent
flag
arrest.
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious races, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification.
I pledge allegiance to the
One day
flag
right there in Alabama,
of the United
little
States
black
of
boys and black
America,
girls will be able to join
and to the
hands with
republic
little
for
white
which it
boys and white
stands,
girls as sisters and brothers. I have
one
a dream
nation,
today.
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Greetings. Have you ever heard of the works of the flesh and the fruits of the Spirit? Greetings. Have you ever heard of the works of the flesh and the fruits of the Spirit?
Without determined struggle and a willingness to suffer and to sacrifice. I see right here in your city you are still having bus difficulties. Now, don't you think buses are going to get integrated in Shreveport, Louisiana voluntarily, and that nobody's going to have to suffer and sacrifice here? You've got to begin now devising a method whereby you will stand before this community and say, come what may, these buses will be integrated. And we're going to suffer if necessary. We're going to sacrifice if necessary. But we are going to stand here until they're integrated. Because we know this is the will of the Almighty God. There's such a thing as moral and righteous pressure. Things are done by people who can apply that adequately, moral and righteous pressure. That's why we talk so much about the ballot now. That's why we talk about it, because we know that there is power in the ballot. The thing that disturbs me about Little Rock, Arkansas, along with other things, the fact that Governor Forbes was elected is quite tragic, but there's something else even more tragic. He was elected by a little more than 200,000 votes. Pretty near 300,000 votes. Did you know that there are more than 200,000 eligible Negro voters in the state of Arkansas? If these people had gone to the polls, if these people had been registered, with the other people who would have voted against Governor Forbes, he wouldn't have been reelected. So that was a failure to apply what we have in our hands, and that is the use of this ballot. We've got to sacrifice enough to walk down and get registered and then go to the polls after we do it. We've got to go in our money and give some, in our pockets and give some money for the causes. Amen. You see, this is that creative minority that I'm trying to talk about that will say somehow that we are going on into the promised land, we're willing to sacrifice anything. We're willing to suffer because we must possess the land. Who's in that group tonight? And I want you to ask yourself the question before you leave here, which of the three groups are you fitting in? Are you in that group willing to suffer and sacrifice and say to yourself that I must be free because God himself made me to be free? Who this evening can somehow say to his white brother, I'm not trying to tear up the nation, I just want to be free. I'm not trying to take possession of everything in this nation, I just want to be free. I'm not out to become your brother-in-law mainly, I just want to be your brother, I want to be free. I'm not out to go into this great nation of ours and set it back in terms of its moral achievements. I just want to be free. Who can go out this evening and say, paraphrasing the words of Shakespeare's Othello, who steals my purse, steals trash, 'tis something, nothing, 'twas mine, 'tis his, has been the slave of thousands, but he who filches from me my freedom robs me of that which not enriches him, but makes me poor indeed. I just want to be free. And this evening can go out and cry to the nation, I just want to be free. Then somebody will come to the point of saying, I'll do anything to be free. May mean going to jail, but I'll go to jail to be free. Maybe losing my job, but I'll lose my job to be free. May mean physical death, but if physical death is the price that I must pay to free my children from a permanent life of psychological death, then give me death, for I want to be free. Who this evening can go out and cry to the nation, I want to be free. And then come to the point that you can cry out with your forefathers of old, before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my home and be saved. I just want to be free. History teaches us a lesson. A lesson that freedom never comes without sacrifice and suffering and struggle. There's another lesson that we can learn from history, and I don't want to be too long. History teaches us that freedom can be achieved without violence. We have some lessons in history there that reveal to us that we don't have to get our guns. So take courage now. Come to see that you don't have to stack your house with ammunition. Come to see that you don't have to try to fill up some deposit of bombs now. You don't have to do it that way. History reveals that you can gain your freedom and you don't ever have to pick up a gun again. History reveals that all of us have something that's powerful. More powerful than any gun that has been created. You may be poor, may not have any money. You may be illiterate. You may not know the difference between you does and you don't. You may not have ever heard of Plato or Aristotle. Never heard of Einstein's theory of relativity. You may not have all of the cultural attainments of this nation, but you have a soul. History says if you will somehow decide that you are going to use the whole force of your soul, you can shake empires from their own. We'll get to the promised land. Mahatma Gandhi, a little brown man, looked at the people of India, said to him, you may be illiterate. The British Empire has exploited you so much that 350 million of you make less than $50 a year. You don't have any money. But you got a soul. You will use the force of your soul. I will begin to walk with you and talk with you. And we can shake the British Empire to it. That little brown man galvanized the whole of India. I remember reading of that day when he started his people, and they were being exploited and they were being charged tax on salt, and he told them that we were going to march down to the salt sea. And against the orders of the British Empire, we're going to just reach down in that sea and get all the salt we want. And I want you to march with me, and if they shoot you, don't shoot back. If they kick you, let them kick you down, and you get up if you can and keep walking. And if they kill you, remember that you have a soul, and they can't kill that because it's immortal. So don't worry, even if they kill your physical body. Gandhi started with them that day. He just started walking with a few people, and they walked on, and other people joined, and other people joined. And when they got down to that sea, hundreds and thousands of people stood there. That day I imagine that the boys back in London at number 10 Downing Street said to themselves, that's all, boys, it's all over. It's all over now. It's all over. Here was the power of the soul. We'll get to the promised land. This is what we have. This is what we have. Let us come to the point that we can say to ourselves that we will meet your physical force with soul force. Get your guns and keep shooting. Bomb our homes and our churches and going to still love you. We're going to wear you down by our capacity to suffer. And one day we're going to win our freedom. But not only will we win freedom for ourselves, we will so appeal to your heart and conscience that we will win you in the process. And our victory will be a double victory. We will not only achieve our freedom, but we will win the hearts and souls of those who have deprived us of our freedom. This is why I believe so firmly in the way of love and nonviolence in our struggle. We're not going to win this battle hating white folks. Hate doesn't help the hater, and it doesn't help the person who is hated. There's something about hate that hurts the hater. Somebody must have the power to transform through love. You just hate somebody, and you are as uncomfortable and as frustrated as the person you hate. Oh, hate, there's something about hate that keeps you from walking straight. Something about hate that keeps you from standing up straight. When you hate, you can't see right. When you hate, you lose your power of objectivity. If you hate somebody, you can't see that person. When you hate strong enough, the ugly becomes beautiful, and the beautiful becomes ugly. A good speech becomes a bad speech, and a bad speech becomes a good speech. When you hate strong enough, you will look at a good deed of a person and call it a bad deed. Hate causes you to put the wrong price tag on everything. When you hate strong enough, hairpins begin to sell for $1,000 and diamond rings for 5 cents because you got the wrong price tag on things. There's something about hate. There's something about hate that does something to the hater. So our way must be a way of love. We will stand up right here in this South land and say to our white brothers, we cannot in all good conscience obey your unjust laws. Do to us what you want to, and we're going to still love you, but we're going to disobey these unjust laws. And when you put us in jail, we're going to still love you. Whatever you do to us, we're going to still love you. Do to us what you will, and we're going to still love you. Have we come to that point yet? That we can use the power of our soul to transform the total. Now somebody saying to me, Reverend, what in the world do you mean when you say love your enemies? Love those people who are oppressing you. Do you mean to say you can love those people with an affectionate love? No, I don't.
Greetings. Have you ever heard of the works of the flesh and the fruits of the Spirit? Do you know that if the world would learn this, no man, woman, child, or beast could ever deceive you again? These are real. Yes, they are real. You can see them operating in human beings. And some of us can even see them operating in the beasts of the field. Journey with me as I educate you, as I educate myself from the volume of sacred law, so you will never, ever, ever be deceived again when you meet the devil. Regardless of whether he tell you he's a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, a Hindu, an atheist, or just simply you, you will know them by the fruits they bear. Have you not read in the volume of sacred law wherein it says, judge a tree by the fruit it bears? Bingo! Have you ever heard of the works of the flesh?